Hello, fourth grade, and welcome to topic 2. We're going to begin with topic 2's lesson 1 today, finding sums and differences using mental math. So remember, the sum is the answer to an addition question. The difference is the answer to a subtraction question. Let's go ahead and watch our video, and then we'll get into our notes and guided practice after.
How can you use mental math to solve problems? Katie's dad washes windows at one of the tallest buildings in Miami, the Four Seasons Hotel. He earned $1,985 in September and $2,595 in October. How much did he earn in the 2 months combined? You can use strategies based on properties to add numbers mentally. Find $1,985 plus $2,595 with mental math. 1,985 plus 2,595 equals. One way is to make 10. Break apart 1,985 to get a number that makes a 10, 100, or 1,000 when added to 2,595. What is a number that will make a 10, 100, or 1,000 when added to 2,595? $405 will make 1,000 when added to 2,595. So, break apart 1,985 into 1,580 plus 405. 1,985 plus 2,595 equals 1,580 plus 405 plus 2,595. Then use the associative property of addition to change the grouping. This allows you to add easier numbers and avoid regrouping. The sum is equal to 1,580 plus 405 plus 2,595. 405 plus 2,595 equals 3,000. So the sum is equal to 1,580 plus 3,000. 1,580 plus 3,000 equals 4,580. Katie's dad earned $4,580. Another way is to break one addend apart and add on. 1,985 plus 5 equals 1,990. 1,990 plus 10 equals 2,000. 2,000 plus 80 equals 2,080. 2,080 plus 500 equals 2,580. 2,580 plus 2,000 equals 4,580. You can start with either addend because of the commutative property of addition, which allows you to add them in any order. 2,595 plus 5 equals 2,600. 2,600 plus 80 equals 2,680. 2,680 plus 400 equals 3,080. 3,080 plus 500 equals 3,580. 3,580 plus 1,000 equals 4,580. Katie's dad earned $4,580.
Okay, so one of the things that you need to pay attention to here when you're following along with this add-on strategy. So if we're starting with 2,595, that means we're going to take the 1,985 and break it apart. So if you add all of these jumps that they made, they weren't just random numbers. These are 1,985 broken apart. So you want to add it in parts that make your number whole and easy. So 2595 plus 5 give you 2600. It's a lot easier to work with 2600 and add on to it than to add on to 2595. So if you add all these parts, 1000 plus 500 plus 400, that's 1900 plus 80 plus 5, that's 1985. So you see that what's broken apart, those jumps that you're making, are based on the other number. So you start with one and you break apart the other number into easier chunks to work with so that you can add without having to write it down using a pencil and paper.
You can also use compensation. 1,985 plus 2,595 equals. Add 15 to 1,985. Then subtract 15 from 2,595 to compensate. 1,985 plus 2,595 equals 1,985 plus 15 plus 2,595 minus 15. Adding 15 and subtracting 15 is the same as adding 0. Adding 0 doesn't change the sum because of the identity property of addition. 1,958 plus 15 equals 2,000. And 2,595 minus 15 equals 2,580. The sum is equal to 4,580. Katie's dad earned $4,580.
Now, when we're talking about compensation, we're talking about making something up. So if you borrow something from someone, you have to make it up to them by giving it back. So for what they did in this first step, they added 15 to 1,985 because that would get it to the next thousands group. 85 plus 15 is 100. So that would make this 1,985 plus 15 will give you the 2,000. But since we added 15 here, we had to get it from somewhere. We can't just add it from and not do anything else. So what we did was we borrowed that 15 from our second number. So we took it out of our 2,595 and we moved it over to add it to the 1,985. So that changed our numbers. When we added those two together, 1,985 plus 15, we got 2,000. When we subtracted 2,595 minus 15, it took our number down to 2,580. So we're not adding any new numbers or taking out numbers. What we're doing is we're moving a group from one into the other. So 2,000 plus 2,580 is a lot easier to add together because it equals 4,580. We're just adding two more to the thousands group here. Now, as we get into our next question. So it says, explain how to use mental math to add 150 plus 2,300 plus 250. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add my parts together in a different order. I'm going to use my associative property, my grouping property, which is basically the same as the commutative property, but it's for when you have numbers, when you're adding or working with more than two numbers. So 150 plus 2,300 plus 250. What I'm going to do instead, I need to find the answer to that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to group my 150 plus 250, oops, not close, plus 250. I'm going to figure that out. Then I'm going to add my 2,300. Now I know that 100 plus 200 is 300. 50 plus 50 is another 100. So 150 plus 250 equals 400. So 400 plus 2,300 is now a lot easier to add. I'm adding 400 here and 300 here. So 2,700 is going to be my sum. So you can see how I changed the grouping around so it's easier and I didn't have to regroup. And then I jumped in to my next section. So let's go ahead and take a look at our guided practice, and we're going to go over the notes that we put down. Now, our notes for this section, you're going to put the title of your lesson on top, of course, as always, and the name of your lesson. Now, strategies that we're going to use. So I use the same numbers that they used in the video just for continuity, just so it's consistent. So we can make a group of 10. So by making a group of 10, we're going to break apart one of the numbers to make groups of either tens, hundreds, or thousands, because those are easy to work with. We're going to use the associative property of addition to change the grouping in order to make tens or hundreds or thousands. Now, the associative property, like I told you, is very similar to the commutative property. Remember, commutative says we can have two numbers that we can add in any order and it stays the same. The associative property is basically the same thing, but with 3 or more numbers. So since we're going to be breaking something apart, we're going to have an extra set of numbers. So let's stop and take a look at what we have. So 1,985 plus 2,595. Now we figured out that to make 2,595 into 2,600, we need 405. So I took my 1985 and I broke it up into that 405 and whatever's remaining in there, which would be the 1,580. When you add these two numbers together, you get the 1,985. And then this number stayed the same. We just dropped it down. Now I changed my grouping. So I'm not working with these together first. I'm going to move that 405 and I want to work with it with the 2,595 first. So I put it in the parentheses here, and that tells me that I'm working with these numbers first. So my 1,580 stays the same. When I added these two numbers together, it got me to 3,000. So 1,580 plus 3,000 gave me the 4,580. So I left some notes basically explaining what I just talked about right here on the side for you to copy down into your notes. Now this is easy to add, right? Because 3,000, we're just adding a group of 3,000 to this number. So it became 4,000 plus whatever was left in there, because the rest of these are zeros. We can use the add-on strategy, which is what we were talking about in the video lesson earlier. So we're going to break one addend, so that's one of the numbers that we're adding together, and use it to add on. So you can start with either addend or either number because of the commutative property that says we can add numbers in any order. So I can either start here with the 1,985 and break the 2,595 to keep adding, or I can start with the 2,595 and break the 1,985 and keep adding. So over here, if I start with the 1,985, I'm going to add 5 to make a group of 10. That's 1,990. Then I'm going to add a group of 10 to make it into my thousands group. So 1,990 plus 10 gave me 2,000. Then I'm going to add a group of 80, gave me 2,080. Then I add a group of 500, which gave me the 2,580. And then I added my big group of 2,000, which gave me the 4,580. Now remember, all of these parts are equal to our second number. So 2,000 plus 500 plus 80 plus 10 plus 5 is 2,595. And the same works when I add it in the opposite order. I'm making those jumps to make my groups of tens or hundreds or thousands, so it's easy to work with. Now for your guided practice questions. Or we can use compensation. Now compensation is a little bit different. When we're using compensation, we're taking some from one group and we're putting it into the other group to make it easier for us to work with those numbers. So in 1,985 plus 2,595, I can add 15 to 1,985 to make it into a group of 1,000. So since I added it from here, I need to subtract it from my other side so that I'm not messing up my answer. So I need to compensate or make up for taking 15 and putting it here. I need to make up for it by taking it out of the other side. So 1,985 plus 2,595. I know this needs 15 to make it bigger. I'm going to borrow it from here, so I need to take the 15 out of there. So I need to add these together first, and then I need to subtract these from each other, and then I can add those two parts. So this plus this gave us my 2,000. 2,595 minus 15 gave me 2,580. So now these are easy to add together. 2,000 plus 2,580 is 4,580. Now, why can we do this? When I'm putting it in here and I'm taking it out from here, it cancels out, so it becomes 0. So if you have your two groups that you're working with and you borrowed some from one group and put it into the other group, you're not putting in a new amount and you're not taking out anything and leaving it out. What you're doing is you're just transferring it. You're moving it over. So since you're just moving it over, what you did basically zeroes out, and that's where the identity property comes in. Since it becomes 0 when you take it from one side and put it in the other, your sum is going to be 0 because your answer is going to stay the same even if you didn't do this. 15 minus 15 is 0, right? Because we're adding 15 here and we're subtracting it from here, so it stays 0. Now for your guided practice questions, it says explain how 2,987 plus 4,278, how you can find that using mental math, and what property or strategy did you use? So for number 1, I'm going to use the associative property where I break apart one of my numbers and use it to make a group of 10, 100, or 1,000 on the other side so that my numbers are easy to work with. So I have my 2,987 plus 4,278. I know that for this number, to get it up to my next thousands group, I need to add 13 to it. So 87 plus 13 is going to take me up to my next group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split apart my 4,278 into 13 and whatever's remaining, which becomes 4,265. So this minus 13 is going to give me this number. Now I'm going to change my grouping. I'm going to take my 13 from here and I want to add it to that first number. So 2,987 plus 13, I want to find that sum first, then I'll add it to whatever's left over. So when I put these together, I ended up with 3,000. 3,000 plus 4,265 gave me 7,265. So I use the associative property of addition by changing the grouping of my numbers to find my answer. For numbers 2, 3, and 4, it says use mental math strategies to solve. So we had 6,794 minus 999. Now looking at this, I know that I can make this into 1,000 really easy. I just need to add 1. So I'm going to use compensation here. So if I'm adding 1 to this group, I'm going to take away 1 from this group. So 6,794 minus 1 becomes 6,793. 999 plus 1 becomes 1,000. 6,793 minus 1,000 gives me 5,793. So for the first one, I use the associative property. For the second one, I use compensation. Your third question is asking 4,505 plus 3,515. So over here, I'm using the commutative property to count up and add. So 4,505 plus 5 equals 4,510 plus 90. So I'm making my jumps like I did on the number line. I just didn't have room to draw it here. When I added my group of 90, it became 4,600. When I added my next group of 400, it became 5,000. I added my last group of 3,000. It became 8,000. Then I added my 20 and it became 8,020. Now for the last question, you had 9,100 plus 2,130 plus 900. So my 9,100, I separated that into 9,000 plus 100. And I added that 100 to the 900. And then I was going to add the 2,130. So my 9,000 became 9,000 plus these two together was 1,000 plus 230, gave me 10,000 plus 2,130, which equals 12,130. And that takes you to the end of your guided practice. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye, fourth grade.